Hey guys, Shadow Spinner here again. Yet another movie review. This time for Halloween. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this movie. If you don't know this movie, you've probably been living under a rock. This movie was made in 1978, so it's pretty old. Like not really, but I mean, by today's standards, it'd be considered pretty old. Um, but it was the movie that spawned the slasher genre of horror, which a lot of people don't like. But this movie actually isn't like most slasher films. People kind of made it into something it wasn't. Honestly, a lot of people think Halloween is a really awful movie. At least they think that of the original. The newer Halloween is very awful. But the older Halloween isn't that bad, honestly. You actually don't see any blood at all. It's Okay, well, I guess I better just start with the plot and go on from there. I'm kind of a rambler, sorry. The plot is about this girl who lives in a small town, and she starts seeing this guy around town on Halloween evening, I guess. And he's wearing this white mask, and she's kind of getting freaked out because it's kind of like he's stalking her. And at the same time, they also cut to a psychiatrist who has just arrived in the town, and he's looking for an escaped mental patient named Michael Myers. And he and the local police chief are out looking for him, while Michael Myers seems to be stalking this girl. Her name is Lori, and her friends. So, it gets to be Halloween night, and Lori is babysitting while the adults are out. Not good. So, the Michael Myers character, he is stalking around and waiting to, I don't know, kill her. So that's basically the plot of the movie. This movie does not have a very good plot, I have to say. Halloween is not a plot-driven movie at all, in any sense. It's more about the scares, which it is scary, but that's more what they're going for, is they're trying to scare you, not to intrigue you with their plot. There is no plot to this movie. Not that I can find anyway. Because yeah, plot's pretty lame. But like I said, the movie is not about the plot at all, in any sense. The actors in this movie, this is a really low budget movie. Jamie Lee Curtis starred in this movie. This was her first real movie, I think. So this is where she got her start, was in Halloween. She's really the only person I know from this movie. It also has PJ Soles and Nancy Loomis in it. Don't know any other things they've been in, but I know Jamie Lee Curtis. She's really good in this movie, actually, I have to say. She is very, very good. She's really the only standout performance. Everybody else is mediocre, like most slasher films. So yeah, acting, once again, mediocre. Some of it's not very good at all, but most of it, for the most part, is mediocre, except for Jamie Lee Curtis, who is very good in this movie. The music for this movie is actually really good. Since, like I said, it was very low budget. I can't remember exactly what the budget was, but it was really small, even by today's standards. And the music was composed by John Carpenter, who also directed this movie. I'm pretty sure it was. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was also composed by him. There's only one song in this entire movie, but they play it whenever Michael Myers is around, or whenever you think he's around. It actually adds to the movie a lot because it's scarier. If you had music playing all the time, I think it wouldn't have up to the scares so much. So it is scary because you know the minute you hear that signature music, something is probably going to happen. Either something important is going to be revealed or Michael Myers is there in the flesh. So the music actually works for this movie. This movie is very scary. That's, like I said, that's the whole point of this movie, is to be scary. It isn't about the plot. So Like, the first time you watch it, it'll fool you. You'll think it had this interesting plot, but really when you go back and watch it again, there is no plot. Like, when I was trying to describe it earlier, you can't really think of much to say because there is nothing to say, really. But it is scary. It mostly has a lot of jump scenes. You don't, like I said, you actually don't see any blood. Like, when you think of slasher film and you think this horrific, just awful movie that you couldn't even imagine watching. But Halloween, which spawned that whole genre, there were no slasher horror flicks before Halloween, was not very violent at all, honestly. Um, it probably would get a PG-13 today. It was rated R back in the 70s, but honestly, today it would probably be PG-13. Because Michael Myers does kill people. It is a slasher flick, as I mentioned before, but it's not in very gruesome ways. There's probably like one gruesome scene in this entire movie. So yeah, it's a very scary movie though, without being bloody. So that was pretty good. The directing in this is great. It's really good. One thing that I liked a lot that John Carpenter did. This was his first breakout movie, and it's honestly his only breakout movie. I haven't really seen any other movies by him that were insanely popular or that I thought were insanely great. But what was I saying with this? I'm sorry, I'm a rambler, like I mentioned before. Yeah, his directing was good. One thing that I liked that he did was he would often go from Michael Myers' point of view. Michael Myers wears this mask. They don't have it on the box, which is weird. But he has a white mask, Phantom of the Opera style thing. And you're looking out through the eye holes, which I thought was cool. It also has Michael Myers doing his best Darth Vader impression, which I did think was odd. The breathing is kind of strange. He breathes like a breathing machine. It's kind of awkward. I don't know, maybe Michael Myers has respiratory problems. I'm not really sure. That's never mentioned. But I did think that part of directing was odd, that he breathes so loudly. And that was never discussed at all. But I'm a nitpicker. I will pick at this movie. But like I said, it's a fun movie to watch if you want to be scared. It's unfortunately did spawn the whole slasher genre, which I don't love. I like a couple of slasher movies that aren't typical slasher movies, but this movie spawned them all, and I don't appreciate that. But I mean, I appreciate what this was. I mean, it's a good horror movie, except for the plot and a few little tidbits that I was nitpicking at. Another thing that I do want to nitpick at is the characters in this movie are really bad. They are awful. You don't like any of them, quite frankly. They are all just a bunch of weirdo, delinquent children. The only character you're really going to care about is Jamie Lee Curtis's. The other characters are just really awful. They drink and do drugs and other just really not commendable things. I don't know why they think that we would care about these characters because, like I said, they're not great in any way. They're jerks also. They don't have any, like, besides the fact that they are morally bankrupt, they also have bad character values. They are not nice to their friends. They're weird. They're irresponsible. They leave the kids they're babysitting to go out partying, and Laurie ends up watching them all. It's just, I don't know where they're up with that whole thing. I don't know why they thought we would be upset that they were in trouble, because I wasn't. Like, I feel okay saying that because these are movie characters, not real people. But, yeah, I mean, you just don't really care what's happening to them. You're more worried when Laurie ends up finally getting stalked. The other people, you're just like, sorry, you kind of brought this on yourself. But, I mean, I would never say that if they were real. But in this movie, you do think that because they're supposed to have likable characters. And this movie does not have almost any likable characters. The psychiatrist guy is okay. I guess he's pretty likable, but you don't really find out anything about him. Just like you don't really find out much about any characters. This movie is not character-driven. It is not plot-driven. It is driven by scary. And that's the whole movie. So I guess I'd give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. I can't give it 5 just because of the plot and the characters and some of the nitpicky stuff I said. But it's pretty good for a scary movie. If you want to be scared, watch this movie. It's fun. So, yes. Thanks for watching. I'll probably be putting up more reviews. I have a lot of movies I have to review right now. But if you want to check those out, that would be great. I think I'll actually be reviewing Something Happy now. I know I said I don't really like slasher films, and I've reviewed quite a few in the last couple days. Which is odd, because like I said, I don't like slasher films, so I don't know why I'm reviewing so many, but whatever. Anyway, I'll probably put up a review for The Devil Wears Prada, which is more of a chick flick, in a little while. So thanks for watching.